First pitch misses, and he gets the generous call on the outside. The home plate umpire here this afternoon. That's a pretty good strike zone. At least that's his reputation.
And why?
Rengifo batting .244 on the season, but he's batting .344 when he hits in the leadoff.
A few more pitches seen, but he doesn't do that.
This one bounced foul at third, handled there by Mark Vientos, who's back. And here's the 2-2. Up and away, and the count full on the leadoff man Rengifo with Shohei Ohtani. Ball 4, and there's a man aboard for Ohtani.
And that's 41.
Down and in, he'll get that slider away, but the up and away is the problem that he's had.
Ohtani's first plate appearance of the ball game. It has been a similar story all weekend long. Every time he comes to the plate. Buck Showalter got a different type of greeting from the crowd last night when 10 plate appearances here in this series as he takes a strike, and it's 0-2. He's 3 for 5, and this is just in the last 48 hours. As he fouls one off his leg.
I'll tell you what, he fouls more baseballs off either.
A foot protector, I mean, he's got the little foot protector, but not the big shin guard. That one got him right in the instep. Those do not.
Got a double and a triple last night. Places one to left field. Ortega come in the series.
It's amazing that it's the third.
Everybody here in New York, Mets fans, know the roster up and down and the prospects and whatnot, but not torn UCL in his throwing elbow. Has made sure that he will not pitch again this season. Got on and missed as Brandon Drury is behind the count. Drury, a former Met, strikes out on 4 pitches as he got it. Back here's Eduardo Escobar, who started the season as a Met, is now with the Angels.
Clubhouse, everyone felt like he had been there for years.
Well, one of the things about Escobar,
it with the full sound as he can't hang on to the bat there, but it was a video of him. Off walk goes for it off for the Angels in the first.
They got a great strikeout to walk ratio. Opponent's batting average is .240.
This is Brandon Nimmo here in the bottom of the first as Nimmo trying to break out of an extended slump.
That is unusual, sorry, with Brandon, because early on, he's way and scratches his way on base.
He's taken 3 straight pitches to start the at-bat. And a guy who, when he walks, watch out, because he sprints to first base, just in case.
They hit the ball in the air a little bit more.
Took a healthy cut there, and it's 3-2. The 3-2 up and away, and there he goes. The call to
appearances. You wonder how they'll get acclimated again back into that routine.
Pitches outside to Francisco Lindor, who extended his hit streak to 12.
So Todd, when you're obviously both teams.
Escobar gives way to Velasquez, who makes the catch. To
set up. I always feel that if certain hitters
on ground, Wallach is there and he makes the catch. Guy who plays every day as he swings and misses.
Reaction, it wasn't really anything that I think had any lingering effects. Fortunately, he's back in the lineup.
Pitching inside anymore because they don't go in there enough.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, anything in deck.
He's been hit 17 times this season, 68 times in his career. Alonso looking for something different there on 3-1. And we'll throw over and check on Brandon Nimmo. Time in his young career. And he's called out on strikes as he was headed down to first base, trying to salvage the final game of this series against the Los Angeles Angels here at Citi Field. Brendan Burke.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I have a blast in these games. Managers are always saying it's pretty early.
On the low.
Yes, Pete is definitely underrated. He does very well at picking like this. This is one of his real strengths. Nobody works harder, and he's been solid.
Pitch up and away to Hunter Renfroe. The trade deadline, and it was the same week that the Angels announced that Shohei Ohtani would.
All going around, getting together in the middle of playing, and there was a lot of smiles. So I'm thinking, uh-oh, they're doing something. Well, Atlanta Braves, and you think, well, but then after that point, everything went to just the opposite direction.
Renfroe.
To that position.
I've always been a big fan to watch him play baseball way back in the days with Cleveland and stuff. This days had a good time.
Mickey Moniak comes up empty on that cut, and it's 0-2.
That field.
Strike 3 called at the top of the zone. Third strikeout. 7 batters for Peterson.
Fans come here to watch him play. And, he's fine to hit. He's got a lot of things in front of him.
Material style, some things about Buck.
Attention to detail, preparation, something. So just always impressed me with that. There was no detail that he'd missed, and he sees.
Bochy, unbelievable.
Bruce Bochy to Buck Showalter as Daniel Vogel back.
A lot of wins. Guardia, a very underrated manager himself. A lot of success. A lot of success.
Alvarez, the catcher for the Mets. Cannon got a piece of that, it looked like, but the play still handled by Renheath. This Mets lineup. He's been a fun player to watch these days for the Mets, all things considered.
But he'd also, had experience with Buck.
But even then, he didn't really get the opportunity as that one goes straight to the backstop.
Essentially an intentional backup slider.
That one was in the dirt, and it's too.
Matchup on the high heater. And he goes down on it.
It was just above the zone on that one.
I know there's a growing belief that he will remain a Los Angeles Angel.
Very, I think he's going to move on to somewhere else. He has said often he wants to win. He wants to win in his team to put it all together. What it's come down to is the young pitching that made strides last year. 2024.
So with that in mind, as a guy that's around it every day and you see what's the Angels?
Yeah, definitely, because when you think about it, if you're going to be, you're one of those other clubs they showed the odds for, you fixed. How long is he going to be out with that? You're talking at least 12 months.
Him.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat finally against Chad Wallach for the first out of the.
Hey, how much do I want to be a pitcher going forward?
Yeah, that's the big question mark as a pitcher. So that makes it even more impressive is to watch him what he does on the mound and still
that kind of ability.
Phil Nevin joked that you could put him at shortstop, he'd be perfect.
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, I always joke.
Greatest individual seasons ever put together in this great sport, and because of the injury
of his career, instead of doing them both
for Brandon Nimmo, and there's two away.
That's news.
This one right side diving play by Alonso, and the throw gets great effort.
Just amazing to watch everybody in the stands. Everyone's got their cell phone ready to go.
I could go through the list of things that he leads.
And he's got 10 hits this year of over 115 miles per hour.
440 feet. That backs him away from the plate. Fouled away.
The league.
Swing and a miss. And he gets Ohtani on second base. Ohtani 0 for 2 after the strikeout from David Peterson.
Yeah. Good start for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame will be back on weeks. August 15th, the last time he swung a major league bat. Got a cortisone injection in the wrist. Much of it hit in foul ground and will make the seats. But a couple of transfers where you're starting to see some of these young guys get opportunities. Did he hold up? 3.
Yeah, you just look well above the strike zone. So you bring the hands down, it's going to be tough to go back up and make contact.
Lay off.
Kind of like the newest Angel, Lucas Giolito has that shorter arm delivery.
So far for Griffin Canning as he works on the number 9 hitter, Rafael Ortega.
I've wondered with
I've been asked that question a number of times, Todd. And I felt that even though with the launch angles, 4 hits to score against me. I didn't give up a lot of home runs.
Yeah.
I felt if you get 4 hits and score, and you're able to get it where?
This is Terminal L at LaGuardia. And Griffin Canning.
That's a nice tight little slider right there. Exploits that down and in.
Almost 24% whiff percentage. All 4 of them, at least that, plus that.